welcome back to another episode of the fourth QuickTake. I'm here with my co-host Nicholas Todd Averly from Unearthing the Supernatural. How you doing today?
Doing great, bro.
Okay, so today's topic we'll be talking about a new statement released by the CDC in which vaccinated people are okay to go walking around without masks. What are your thoughts about this?
I don't trust it. It's scary to I don't know. It kind of goes back to the whole thing about being overly cautious, kind of the person who I am. And in my mind, I still think it's too soon to be walking around, but I don't know if you felt this, but walking around the city and all that stuff, have you felt the fear of COVID or just its energy kind of go down? It's not as
intense. Like before, I was super scared to get a haircut. I still haven't got a haircut, but I'm still super scared to get a haircut.
Yeah.
But I was terrified 6 months ago to even try that.
Yeah.
Or even going to the grocery store. It's like, okay, get in, get what you need, get out as quick as possible. But now it's just like, okay, I have the freedom to go walk around a little, go look and go shopping. Like my parents came down and we went shopping.
Mm-hmm.
But before it was like, oh no, we can't do that. We can't go to a movie theater. We can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
But now it just seems like it's a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
But I still think we should wear all masks. I'm just scared that we end up like India. Like India thought they were good with COVID. They conquered it, defeated it. That was their whole press. Then now it's just like the rates they have the most. Their rates is insane, and they have the most ever.
Yeah.
Even a year after the pandemic started.
Yeah.
I just hope we don't fall into that trap.
Yeah, and it's just kind of being overly cautious is what's kept us alive throughout all these years as Native people.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing that just I don't know how they're going to be able to tell. You walk into a store and they're going to be like, "Are you fully vaccinated?" to be able to see if they're wearing a mask or not. I'm already seeing people walk around Target, gas stations, and all these other things without masks, man. So I don't know how they're going to mandate that, or they're just going to be, because you still can get COVID even though you got the vaccine. The effects of COVID won't be as bad, but you could still get it.
From what the little research that we've done, that you could be vaccinated, but you still could be asymptomatic. You just won't get the symptoms. You could still have COVID. You'll just be asymptomatic. It's just not as transmissible. You won't transfer as crazy as if you weren't vaccinated, but there's still a little bit of a chance. And for us to do something as big as unvaccinated people can not wear masks in places, I think it's just it's that whole saying that if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah.
So now it's how do you verify somebody that's vaccinated? Are we supposed to walk around with that card around all the time? Be like, oh, here, I'm vaccinated. I don't wear a mask. Or how do you know if somebody's lying or if that card's fake or whatever?
Yeah. Be like that movie Wayne's World when they got those backstage passes.
Just flashing into everybody.
vaccinated, And I had going through the vaccination process, it did suck, and a couple days of being vaccinated, especially the second one, sucked like hell, but I honestly do feel like it's worth it, because it gives you a peace of mind that, you are protected in some way, shape, or form, whether or not be 100%, but still lessens your odds of getting it. I'll take it, man, with how deadly this virus is. And I can't deny, people I've said in past podcasts where I was questionable about the vaccine and all that, everybody is. But now I'm kind of eating my own words when I say, the vaccine is actually working. I'm actually seeing a lot of these numbers go down, and you see everybody's vaccination numbers going up. I've seen in the Navajo Nation, they just recently passed 100,000 Navajos getting fully vaccinated, which is amazing.
And our Native American population has one of the highest rates and being vaccinated, which is great. We went through a lot this past year with the COVID and how many deaths we had. It's super sad that we lost a lot of close members of our family. Every elder that passed away, there's so much stories, there's so much knowledge, there's so much they can offer the world, and yet they ended shortly just because of the pandemic. And it's super sad. But on the over the hill, I just hope that we still take precautions, we still social distance, we still wear masks, just because we don't want to play around with any virus. There's still multiple mutations. I'm on the cautious side. I just don't want this to all happen again.
Yeah.
And you look at China, you look at like how their rates are going, and they completely shut down for like a whole month, and that's why they were able to open up before us.
Hmm.
Because like if you just shut down for like a couple of months and everybody just stays home, the virus will go away. But we couldn't do that. We always want to do this half open, half closed thing, which it didn't work out either way. Like you have to be full go something and not just half half it.
Like I remember it was like just like a week or two that we fully went down, but then like everybody had to have everything open
Yeah.
to where numbers did go down. They're like, oh yeah, numbers went down for like a week, so let's open everything back up again. Sure enough, numbers skyrocketed
Yeah.
back up
Yeah.
again. Like I remember it was in the thousands, man. Thousands, like
Every day. It was
in
daily.
just Maricopa County, in
Yeah.
like our county area. And now it's like less than 100 or so that I'm seeing. And Navajo Nation's like has like about 10, or if anything has like that many numbers. And I remember it was in the hundreds as well. And it's crazy like how far we've come in this year. It's been a long year thinking about it,
Yeah.
bro. It's like still a prevalent thing. Everyone's still wearing masks, and it's just, hopefully by end of this year everything will start going down, because everyone's saying because of the vaccine numbers are like dropping like crazy. And I hope and pray it's everything's going good the way it is. It continues to stay on the decline like this, and sure enough one day we'll be able to live life like normal.
Yeah, the CDC, there's a lot of health organizations, it's kind of hard who to trust, the
Mhm.
WHO, CDC, the OSHA, like there's so many like conflicting reports. It's like, why can't you guys just all unite to one and say one thing? It just
Mhm.
seems like you're getting mixed signals from all three like companies or health organizations.
If Fauci doesn't say it, I don't want
Fauci.
it. Dude got a lot of flack from Trump, and then like
Yeah.
just imagine having going to school for all these years and knowing everything about your stuff, and some dude that doesn't have hardly any
Like
education.
specializing in coronavirus this past year and being questioned by everybody if they're right or not.
I was just like, he's just like probably like, you guys are idiots. But it's crazy that like even now, like because of the coronavirus and all that, I don't know, we can add this to the topic, is recently, since everything's kind of going down and COVID numbers, our governor is wanting to take away the $300 extra to unemployment.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
There's a lot of nastiness going on, people the economy opened back up, and a lot of people are not rushing to get jobs, and
Hmm.
it's like big scare. uh but why would you rush back to go back to a McDonald's job, or why would you
Hmm.
rush back to go back to a retail job?
Hmm.
Because those jobs are terrible. Nobody wants to do that.
Right, and then especially like if you work retail or anything like that, you're have more chance to get COVID than anybody else.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's
Yeah,
dangerous.
and it's just like pretty much kicking
And
people.
people are not wearing masks, so it's like, why would I go back? People are not wearing masks
Yeah,
now.
and it's just like I,
I
I
have a family to look after for too. I don't want my like kids or mom getting sick
like I
just
feel
because I
for
have to
the
get out of work.
families, man. Like
Yeah,
the people that are getting forced to go back to work and all that, and then them putting their families at risk. It's like this whole time, like Governor Ducey was like hardcore against closing anything down, and I think that's why Arizona had like really bad like COVID numbers and everything like that. And so it's just it comes hand in hand, like if you're really lenient when it comes to this stuff just because you want to please the people, like you got to think about like the after effects. You got to think about like, okay, we got to make sacrifices so the long term isn't long term.
I'm all for like the free market, but everybody's like, it just seems like some people are just looking for any excuse at all to not wear a mask.
Hmm.
And like when masks were a big deal, they're like trying to figure out a way not to wear masks. They're wearing those like thin gator necks or those
Hmm.
face shields that don't really cover anything,
Yeah.
or just anything to get outside of a mask when the coronavirus was killing hundreds and thousands of people, and they still refuse the mask. So now that the CDC says this, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to get as close as I can to many people. I'm gonna start sneezing. I'm gonna start coughing on people, and it's like, bro, just step back. Give me 6 feet. I still want to take precautions.
I know
If you
some
want to risk your life, that's on you. But I wanna preserve life.
almost threw hands with somebody at Subway, bro.
Subway.
Yeah, because they were like so close to me, man, and I was just like, give me some fucking space. I know you want your sandwich, Give me some space, yo.
Yeah.
Like I can feel you breathing on my neck, yo. And it's just, I think it's gonna have to be like that for a good while, just being cautious like that, because we know the risks of COVID, and it's just, even being fully vaccinated. Yes, I have felt the dark spirit of COVID kind of wither away a little bit, but it's still around. You cannot deny that it's gone fully, and then you cannot deny that over more than 500,000 people in the United States have died from coronavirus. Over 500,000 people, man. That's crazy. Crazy to think about,
I think
man.
it's just weird that like the numbers are still there. There's still coronavirus numbers, and we should take every precaution to make sure this ends. It's like the whole thing with antibiotics. Like when you get prescribed antibiotics, you're supposed to take the whole prescription and not just take half when you feel better.
Mm.
Just because like if you take half, the virus will then mutate, and then that virus becomes immune to that antibiotic. So now that antibiotic doesn't work on this strain, and it's like all these coronavirus strains are coming out, and it's like just keep careful because one of these, all it takes is just one to mutate, and
Yeah.
everybody get reinfected again.
To be able to be like, oh, one mutates to where like even our vaccines don't work anymore, so they got to
Yeah.
make a new one, and then it's gonna be a whole another
Oh, we have to
year.
do a whole new quarantine, and yeah, it's just I'd rather play it safe than not. Like that's just my like personality. I'm not one to gamble my rent money, gamble my mortgage or whatever, my car.
Hey, hey,
I
hey,
play it safe.
just imagine, bro, if an outbreak happens again, we get stimmies again. Just how far ahead have we gotten just because of
The
those
stimmies.
stimmies? Stimmies have come in clutch, man, to be able to put me ahead to where I need to be, man. So yeah.
We're just in a weird time in America, the two-party system, like it creates a lot of friction, and then there was an election.
Mm.
There's so much at play here. Trump was having his rallies, and one of the worst times during COVID.
Capital was
And
taken
they weren't
over.
masks. Supposedly, there was this air purifier or whatever. And a whole bunch of people got infected as rally. Trump got COVID. There's a lot of things that happen, and we're rushing back. I just don't get why. Like a lot of people like try to define science science, like they want to beat science. They think science is not real. COVID's not real.
Common sense ain't common, bro. Common sense is not common.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. It's just like there's a reason why I say it's like natural selection, but even then, a lot of innocent people that didn't need to die died. And it just sucks that like people who are in poverty or in the lower economic system are taking the brunt of all this.
The thing is, like the way I see it is like we were so slow to react to the coronavirus. Like when everything started popping off, we were so slow to implement quarantine. We were so slow to implement masks. But then once we get that little chance to get rid of these regulations, we do. Like we're so slow to react to the virus, but we're so quick to get rid of the regulations
Regulations.
that defend against the virus. It
Yeah,
doesn't make
man.
no sense. It's supposed to be the other way. We're supposed to be quick to react and then slowly like get back in the flow of things.
Yeah, and it's just people, you're just wearing a mask. You get to be ninjas every day. What the hell is the problem? Like I've been looking forward to this day to be able to wear a mask in public like this and look like a ninja everywhere I go. And sanitizing is annoying. My hands get dry
Yeah.
all the time from sanitation, but
Especially being in Arizona where it's already dry.
I
It's getting more
know
dry.
Bath and Body's making bank, bro. But it's just like honestly, you're wearing masks. You're staying away from people, and more so, you got to stay like 6 feet away. And I have no problem with distancing myself from people. I don't like people. And then, and then you just got to wear sanitize, and it's just like these three things are so hard for everybody in America. And it's just like, why are these simple things so hard for you? I don't know if it's just because we grew up the way we did, because we had to haul water, we had to chop wood, we have to do all this stuff just to survive. And just these bare things are so like minuscule compared to everything else that we've dealt with growing up, but to everybody else who has had an easy life, that these three things are such a nuisance, that an inconvenience to their life. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't understand, but that's just how people want to live their lives. And I don't know, man. It's a lot.
Like just being Native American, we've seen the numbers, we've seen how hard our community was hit, and it disproportionately hit all the rural areas. And the reservation is a rural area where we don't have a lot of resources, so I'm super scared. Like it's okay for like the richer part of the cities because they have the resources to do all of these like great things, but on the res, it's not really like that. We don't have those resources, so.
Yeah.
I just hope we still play it cautious. I hope Jonathan Nez doesn't rush out and say masks are gone.
Yeah.
And which, from his actions before, it doesn't seem like that.
Yeah. He's protecting our people pretty well, man. And if everybody continues getting their vaccine, go for it. You're gonna feel like shit, but you'll feel better later.
All the vaccine was bad. You can watch our other pods where we talk about our stories with vaccines. It was a hard couple of days after. It was a hard couple.
It was
days.
hard. Like I've never.
You feel sick. But you're not sick.
Yeah, and it's just like you're telling your body, it's just like, yo, be having a fever, and you got shakes, and it's just like you're
getting the chills, you have
headaches, and it's just like, I'm not sick, and then it's just like you wake up one morning, it's gone. You're just like, what the hell? It's weird, but people.
I seem like it's working, so it's a good thing. Just everybody go get vaccinated. And hopefully sometime in the future, we don't have to wear masks. I'm still going to wear a mask wherever I go, just because I want to keep my family safe. It's not necessarily me. Like, we talked about the Joe Rogan, or I don't think we didn't talk about the Joe Rogan thing where he said that, like, young, healthy people shouldn't wear a mask.
Yeah.
But I want to protect my family. That's the main part. Like, I could care less about me. I'm more protective of my family.
Like, I know we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But our family members won't be fine. It's our third party people that we're worried about, man. So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll end that there. Thank you for watching. We all hate Joe Rogan. Just like and subscribe.